4G tuning. This time, I wanted to introduce you to a special guitar of mine. This is the James Trussart Silver Magnolia. This has a long history behind it. I got it in Paris from James Trussart, who's a wonderful guitar builder, and he actually built this for, I think, for Sonny Landreth, great slide player. And Sonny used it on the cover of his album, and he played it some, and they ended up not buying it, so I bought it because I figured, oh, it's got a lot of mojo. And later on, I had Sonny sign it. I did some gigs with him. But if you don't know Sonny Landreth, check him out. He's like Derek Trucks, Sonny Landreth, right in there. Anyway, that being said, I wanted to give you a little history on this guitar. I'm playing through my Sommatone overdrive 35 over here, which I got from Jimmy Soma, and he's in Austin, Texas. It's a great amp, and I like particularly this tone that I'm getting. So I'm basically overdriving it, and I got some saturation, which I like for playing open G tuning or any open tuning, any slide stuff, because I can get it to sustain in a nice way, but it still cleans up pretty good if I want to. But I like that little edge of dirt right at the end there. So let's get into some lessons here, though. So you know that we've discussed open G tuning here, obviously. D, G, D, G, B, D. That's our open G tuning, okay? We've discussed that at length, but what we haven't really gotten into so much, I think I gave you some lessons on my my National and my acoustic guitar, which is one style. But I think the electric style is really worth exploring as well, because it's a different sound. You know, this has that Texas, almost Billy Gibbons, you know, that dirty sound. So a lot of it has to do with the tone and the setting you got on it. At this point, I've got the most of the treble rolled off in a kind of a warm sound, which I like. So now let's talk about where we can go with it. So I started to give you guys a little swampy groove, and it was like. So I'm going to slow that down for you and give you a real breakdown of it. I come down on the D string, and I pinch these three, the D, the G, and the B. So I go. That's the rhythm. It's kind of a swamp rhythm. So you hit that D string, squeeze, and then again, and you're working off the second fret on the D string. And then that riff is pull off third fret on the D, and then squeeze the third fret on the A. Okay? So check it out. I'll do it in slow motion. Let's see. So good shot. Pull off on the D string. Squeeze that third fret on the A, and then open. Come down on the A string. It's funny because I normally don't tear this stuff apart, I just play it, you know, but I think it's important for you guys if you want to catch what I'm doing. Now that particular rhythm, it reminds me a little bit of the way that Clapton and his band play Crossroads these days. I think they do a little more up-tempo, but they don't do the regular Cream version so much as I went down to the crossroads, tried to flag it right. I like that swampy groove, you know. So I thought that might be a good place for us to start with electric slide, and although I haven't done any slide yet, except to go. That's sliding up to the 12th. Just just grab your A and your G string. So let's see how that sounds together. Pretty simple, right? Deceptively rhythmic though. I mean, I know it's got to be greasy and swampy, but I just wanted to start out with something easy. So that's the rhythm. I'm coming down on the A string. Pretty cool lick, actually. I like it. So you notice I did a different pattern. I went. The second one I went. I think I like that. On that A string, kind of finishes it. So the first one goes. Let that ring, don't go up to the slide. And what I like about that is it kind of completes the phrase, right? It definitely, it's almost like a verse where it goes, I don't know. And then here, I think that would be a good place to go to the 4 chord. Why not? I'm playing the blues, right? And the 4 chord in this particular tuning, as we have gone over, and we'll go over it many times, is you slide up to the 5th fret, okay? And when I say the 5th fret, I don't mean in between the frets. I mean the 5th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's that second dot and then the 5th fret. And with slide, as I've explained, but I want to remind myself and you, is we play over the fret, okay? We don't play, we play. So if you got an open G and you go to the 5th fret, you want it to be right there, okay? And just as long as we're doing this, the 7th fret would be your 5 chord. In this case would be what, a D, right? And then back to the C, which is the 4 chord, and back to your 1, your root. So I think it's really cool to explain how slide plays into this kind of open tuning with a little bit of dirt on the guitar, because it kind of gives you a break. It's not that terrible sort of distortion that goes tweedly tweedly do. It's more just it breaks up when you hit it. Like I set my distortion so that when I hit the strings harder, it's kind of clean here. And I'm not touching my volume at all, but if I get after it, I want to go clean. It's pretty clean. I mean, it's got that little edge of, and I'm going to get into that in my tone. We're going to do a whole month on just tone. We should do more than 1 month, really, because tone. I talk about the 4 T's: touch, tone, time, and taste. I think they're all connected, and they're all super important to become a fully integrated guitarist. To do all those things together. So you have finesse and you have control, but you also have that wild abandon. Now, for me personally, I don't know why, but I find slide to be really compelling. And I think I was watching Derek Trucks. He said that slide is very much like a human voice, and I've heard that said too. In fact, John Mayer said about Derek Trucks playing, he said he sounds a lot like a great R&B soul vocalist, like Etta James. He's got that. Almost like a singing voice, right? Which ultimately, I always say when you're playing a lead, it should really be telling a story like a singer does. So that's just my take on what should happen. So back to, I digress, back to where we were doing that little rhythm, right? Okay, then we're sliding up. We can slide up to that 4 chord, which is the 5th fret. And just for fun, let's work off the 3rd fret on the way down. So let's do that again, slow motion, okay? So I'm going up to the 4 chord, sorry, on the 5th fret. And then we're gonna do a little hoochie coochie move. So that's the 3rd fret. And you'll notice I'm sneaking up to it. I do that a lot on slide. I'm coming up to it. Okay? This is turning to be a cool little vibe, huh? So now what I'd like to do is go to the 5 chord. Because we've done the 1, we hung out, we did a complete phrase where we went up on the slide, and then we ended up, and then we went up to the 4 chord, which was, and don't even worry about rhythm there, just, so where should we go now, you may ask? Oh, blues explorer. Well, we're going to go to the 5 chord because we're playing the blues, and that's where we want to go. So we're going to go to the D because we want to resolve, right? We want to do a 5 chord, a 4 chord, and then we do a little walk turnaround. So how that sounds is we've gone from the 4, sorry, 5th fret, and then we've done the phrase. Now we're gonna let the guitar do the work for us. Since we have the luxury of that low E string down to D, that's the 5 of G. Okay, so D. This will all make sense at some point, but it might make sense to you now. You get that D note. You can bend it by going to the 2nd fret, and then we're gonna slide up on our slide to the 7th fret. So. Sitting at, I'm picking up the B, the E, B, E, B, G, B string, E string, G string. And then let's do exactly the same move, but down on the 5th fret. Again, slow. Now you'll notice how I let that low D ring, right? That gives me that time to, and then same exact move, but down 2 frets, same exact move. And then let's do that little sneaky 3rd fret move again. Right? So again, back to G. Now here, I want to teach you just a real simple walk down. So turnaround, okay? So we need turnarounds to get us out of the verse and do the turnaround so it completes and resolves what we're doing. And what we're going to do there is we're going to do the D string and the B string, and we're going to pinch them like this on the 3rd fret. Got it? And this is really easy. Walk down a half a step. And one more half a step, and then open. So, but it'll be played like this. So, down and down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, open. So, that in practice, that sounds like this. Let's go to the 5, the 4, the little sneaky 3 fret, like this. Turn around. And then one last thing, I'm sorry, it's one more thing. Let's go to that 5. What I'm doing is I'm climbing from the 5th to the 7th fret chromatically, which means half step at a time, which is very effective. And you're going to find in slide playing, it's really effective to wiggle it around. So let's do this. I'm going to play everything I just showed you. I'm going to play it real slow, then I'm going to play it up to speed and see if this all works together. I think it will. So here's that little swampy rhythm. Does that make sense to you? I hope it does. I know it's a lot, and I know if you're not used to playing slide, it might seem overwhelming, but I'm going to dedicate an entire month to teaching slide here very shortly in my mentoring program. So bear with me, because I know it's a lot to take on, and I know this slide is it can be intimidating because it's so different than when we play on in between the frets. But at the same time, I think it's something, if it calls to you, it's worth exploring. And I don't know, I love slide. I think it's really it's a different thing, and sometimes when I'm jamming with people, I'm grateful. We just posted a fun clip of myself and Carlos Santana kind of going at it. We did some gigs together, and I was grateful to have my slide because, he's playing Carlos Santana. How are you going to compete with that? I don't really want to try and compete, so I ended up playing slide against his, Latin blues thing, and I think it worked out pretty good. It was fun. We both had a riot, and I hope I get to do it again sometime. But if I don't, it was definitely a lifetime moment for me. So back to this little swampy thing, and then I'm going to go on to a little shuffle that I want to show you. That is also, I think, fun to do. So we got that thing, and I'm going to play it now up to speed and see if that makes sense to you. So that's a little Jimmy Dillon swampy special, played through my Sommatone amp, set it at a low volume with a little bit of dirt, and my beautiful, God, I love this guitar. I had an old 59 Les Paul Jr. that I ended up selling to finance my first CD. It's another story. And then when I got this one, I was so relieved because I feel like these Joe Barton pickups they bark like P90s without quite the noise. So I'm happy about that. But we'll talk all about that in in other lessons and in my mentoring program. You can get it at jimmydillon.com. Please visit us and say hi. So before I leave you though, I'm going to go ahead and play a little romp because I like to have fun. I'm just going to play over a shuffle, and I'm not going to stop and teach at this point because that's a lot. You've already gotten a lot already, so I don't want to overdo it here. But this is just a little shuffle, and you'll see what this sounds like to play over a G shuffle, okay? Here we go. craziness. All right. Well, anyway, that's some of the stuff that you can do. And, you know, it's not a game of perfect. I'm all over the place with this thing, but every once in a while I'll land on on something that really moves me, and I think, oh, that's pretty good. Maybe I'll make a song out of that, or just not. Maybe just enjoy the moment. So I hope you enjoyed that little slide excursion. It was a long one. I know there's a lot there, but please come back and see us. I just want to say I'm really, really enjoying teaching all this information, because I realize that in my many years, touring and doing what I do, I've picked up some pretty cool stuff along the way. Whether it's open tuning or slide, or some of it's off the beaten path, honestly. But a lot of it is just stuff I love, and I don't teach anything I don't love. I'll tell you that right now. I work with my buddy Jason, and he's always saying, just teach him the stuff you know. Don't try to teach him some fancy new thing or whatever. Just teach what you know, that you love and that you believe in, and it'll definitely get through. So thanks very much for coming. We'll see you down the road. Bye-bye.